Hey guys, thanks for jumping back into the cryptoverse. Today we'll be going over Ethereum. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel and turn your notifications on, and check out the Telegram and Discord channels in the description below. So while I do make my own charts most of the time, some of the time I do just go to TradingView to show you guys some of the basic charts and to just learn in a little bit of a different way. We don't always have to pull up sophisticated charting methods to learn something. So what we're looking at today, again, we're looking at Ethereum, and we're looking at how, I made a video on Bitcoin in which we looked at the 20-week moving average and how it was held as support during the bull run, and then how it was held as resistance during the bear market. And then once we broke the 20-week, Bitcoin really took off, and then we came down to the 20-week and instantly broke it. And we also talked about how historically it was the transfer from the 100-week moving average to the 20-week, which is what signified the beginning of the bull market for Bitcoin. Now, one of the things you'll notice is that when Bitcoin, when it did hold the 20-week as support for the first time back in the first quarter of 2016, that was when the first quarter of 2016 was when Ethereum really took off. So consider that. Not a lot of coins do take off during this time, but Ethereum did take off, and yes, it was relatively new, and no, it does not mean it has to happen again. But I know, it feels to me like, Ethereum is probably one of the more undervalued coins right now. Not that this is financial advice, but it just, to me, that is my personal opinion. I think it is sitting at a fairly deep undervaluation currently. And you can see, though, that the 20-week moving average with Ethereum is not nearly as it doesn't, while it does offer some support, like you can see here and here, it is prone to breaking even during bull markets. So what does this mean? Ethereum had a good run when Bitcoin held the 20-week. It had a good run when Bitcoin reached its previous all-time high, so first quarter of 2017. And then looking over here at the first quarter of 2017, that's when Ethereum did well again, and then at the end when Bitcoin reached its kind of its peak. So we're really not exactly looking for Ethereum to hold the 20-week to signify that it's in a bull market. What we're looking for is Bitcoin to hold the 20-week, and then obviously Ethereum to see some positive moves as well with the 20-week, but doesn't necessarily have to hold it as support for the next several years. Now currently you can see that it is offering its level of resistance, that 20-week moving average. So we've tested it once, twice. It seems like we're going to be testing it a third time coming up. And as I mentioned in the Bitcoin video, the 20-week and the 100-week kind of tend to dance with each other, and you can see how they interact with one another at these where they cross. But with Ethereum, you can see that once we broke the 20-week, we went straight up to the 100-week and then straight back down to hold the 20-week as resistance. So if we were to break the 20-week moving average, if we were to break it and see some positive momentum, and you are looking for a potential time to sell, you could use that risk management tool. Or you really might want to be looking at this 100-week moving average as a time to take some profits. That doesn't mean sell everything. And to give you an idea, the 100-week is currently sitting at around 283. So just consider this for this, and this is not meant for it to be a day-to-day thing. This is kind of like, we're looking at this in terms of the whole 2020 picture. We're looking at 2020. We're trying to understand what might happen. So first things first, we really need to break the 20-week moving average before I would consider really taking any profits. I mean, obviously, we're not even gonna, on that risk metric, we're not gonna even be getting into the point where we would hit a historic sell point, at least until we see some positive moves up towards that 100-week moving average. So just consider that as we move forward. Another thing I'd like to show you guys is just Ethereum versus Bitcoin. So it does seem like, I've talked about this a little bit, it does seem like there is more or less of a fractal here, and I'll quickly point it out. You can see how it comes up, we peak, come back down, second peak, kind of have of an accumulation or a fake accumulation period, and then we see that final sell-off. So peak, second peak, flat area, sell-off. So we have peak, second peak, more or less of a flat area. Now we're in the sell-off phase. I just think we're going to stay in this phase until Bitcoin gets above the 20-week moving average. So that's what I will at least be looking for. And if it does, and if it holds it as support, then don't be surprised if Ethereum sees a really good move. I mean, that could happen this year, could happen next year, might not ever happen, but you know, if that's at least what I'm going to be looking for and what I'll be doing. So people ask me about, you know, where do I hold most of my or what percentages make up my portfolio, and I don't really share those publicly. But you know, historically, moving some Bitcoin into Ethereum at these specific milestones, it might, you know, could turn out to be a wise decision. But you'll have to manage that risk on your own and figure out if that's something you wanna risk. So I think that'll basically wrap it up for this video. We have, you know, we're going to be, I published Bitcoin letters in January, so if you want to check that out, I will link the video, you can find a link in that video to the actual report. In February, we're going to have Ethereum letters, which is going to be, you know, an intensive report on Ethereum, and so feel free to check that out. The abbreviated version of Ethereum letters will be for free, so it'll be free for everyone to view and criticize and talk about. And then I'll have a more extensive report for people who join my Patreon page. So if you want to join my Patreon page, just check it out. It's patreon.com/into-the-cryptoverse. So check that out. And I would love to have you guys supporting the channel. So that'll wrap it up for this video. Be sure to subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye.